Hello. So I've been collecting CDs for like over a year now, and I've gotten quite a collection, and I wanted to just like make a video where I show all the CDs that I have and sort of just briefly talk about them. And yeah. So these are gonna be in like no particular order. I'm just gonna grab some, talk about them a little bit, show them off. I'll try to show as much as I can. So yeah. First up, I want to show my Green Day CDs. I've got four. I've got Dookie, Insomniac, Warning, and American Idiot. These three, so all except American Idiot, I got Facebook Marketplace for pretty cheap, and then American Idiot I just got online. But yeah, here's Dookie. Yeah, I've been a pretty big fan of Green Day for quite a long while, honestly. I did, like, when I was a kid, I obviously heard their, like, biggest songs, you know. I remember, I was, like, in, like, the 2000s, American Idiot was super popular, so they played a lot of those songs everywhere. But I would say, like, I properly really got into them when I was maybe like 13, 14, 15, somewhere around that. And yeah, I really like them. They're one of my favorite bands. And I definitely would love to get like more of their CDs, not just these four. Then here's Insomniac. Yeah. And then with Insomniac, like, since I did buy it used off of like a used CD off of my Facebook Marketplace, it is kind of faded here in the like center, because that's where the CD like when the CD is closed, that's the part that you see. It's kind of unfortunate, but you know, still I think this like looks really cool. And then here's the lyrics. We got Warning. Here we go. And I hope you can see the booklet quite well. So I don't know what the hell you can see, but hopefully. And then yeah. And finally, American Idiot. This one I've got like with a sticker as well, which I think is cool. The jewel case is unfortunately a bit cracked, but that's fine. Yeah, I also, this came with like a little promo for their other stuff, which I don't know, I always think it's fun when CDs have that, even if it's like, you know, something that's kind of older and not really relevant, but I think it's fun. I like having that stuff. And here's the booklet. So the booklet's pretty simple, it's just the lyrics, but they kind of look handwritten, so I think that looks cool. Also, fun fact, so I started learning how to play drums like about a year ago. I'm still pretty new to it, still have a lot to learn, but I can kind of play Below Our Broken Dreams. When I say kind of, it's mostly because like the beat of it is pretty simple, the like very basic one, but there's parts where, you know, some stuff changes, and like I can play the basic beat, especially because it's a slower song, so it's easier, but I can't really do it like perfectly with all the changes and stuff. But hey, you know, I'm still learning, so hopefully I'll get better at that. Next up, I'm just gonna show my Rage Against the Machine CDs, because most these I also got off of Facebook Marketplace for pretty cheap. Yeah, I've got here subtitled Battle of Los Angeles and Evil Empire. So here we go. I initially, like, the person that I was buying this, like, the Rage Against the Machine CDs from, they initially only listed one, so I was just gonna get one, and then they were just like, oh, I have more. Do you want more? So I was like, okay, sure. Okay. To be fair, like, to be completely honest, I mostly have listened to this album, The other ones a bit less so, like less often. But you know, I still can get all of them if they're offering, because I don't know. I think I like having CDs, and I do find that sort of owning CDs makes me listen to albums like more in order, because I would say before I would listen to maybe like some songs, wait a while, listen to some other songs, and like I wouldn't. There were some artists that I would listen to the entire album from front to back the second it came out, but very few. Mostly I would just get familiar with a few songs and then sort of slowly get familiar with the whole album that way. But now that I have like CDs, I don't know, I want to listen to stuff more. And here it opens up like that. But yeah, it also has made me want to sort of explore more, I guess. I don't know, not necessarily, it just sort of, it makes me want to listen to more artists, more music. I've got Scoring the End of the World by Motionless in White. So this is currently the only Motionless in White CD that I own, but I would really like to get more because I really do like them a lot. I actually saw them in concert earlier this year. They were really good. I had a lot of fun, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, I especially would like to get some of their like sort of older CDs, I guess, like their earlier work. Yeah. So hopefully I will also eventually get more than just this. Next up, I got Baby Metal by Baby Metal. Yeah, and this one actually kind of came with two like booklets, sort of. So there's this one, and this one shows like the lyrics, sort of how they would be pronounced. Hope you can see. I'll try to but like, yeah, sort of like the pronunciation of them kind of just opens up like this. There's not really anything else, it's just the lyrics. And then this one has the actual like Japanese, like it's written in Japanese, the lyrics, and there's some like artwork in the background, and I think it looks cool. I really like the artwork. I do slightly wish there was a bit more. I will say, like, for me, I really like when the booklet has at least like a photo of the band as well. I don't know, I just think I like when there's more than just the lyrics, but you know, yeah, that's Baby Metal. I would also like to have more Baby Metal albums. I know they recently released an album, and I do really like that, so that would be cool to have. Got Where You Want to Be by Taking Back Sunday. This album I mostly just have because it was really cheap. I was buying it from Discogs. I was buying something else, and I saw that the seller had this, so for like a pretty cheap price, so I got it. That's not to say that I don't listen to Taking Back Sunday. I do listen to this album. I find like usually if I'm listening to Taking Back Sunday, I will be listening to something. I don't tend to listen to too many songs from this album specifically, but this was the only one they had. But yeah, usually if I'm listening to Taking Back Sunday, it'll be some other stuff, but still, I think it's cool to have, and I definitely probably need to like give this more of a listen. I feel like if I listen to it a bit more, I'd probably get more familiar with it and listen to the songs from it more, you know. Next up, I've got Does This Look Infected by Sum 41. So here we go. I really like the sort of zombie aesthetic, zombie look thing. I don't know, I think it looks really cool. So this has some absolute bangers in it. So that, and yep. Toxicity by System of a Down, banger of an album. This is the only System of a Down album I have at the moment, but you know, as I said, at the moment, there's a lot more CDs that I want to get, like quite a lot more, because I already have quite a lot, and I feel like by the time I get all of the ones that I currently want, oh my god, I will just straight up not have any room for them at all. I need to get one of those like CD holders. No, I'm not sure what it's called, but like it's like long, you can get like, I don't know what it's called, I'm so sorry. But I need to get one of those because I already have quite a lot here. Next up, I've got Meteor by Linkin Park. This one's also like an enhanced CD, so it's got The Art of Meteora, so it's sort of like a documentary, I think, website toolkit and web-based media, access to web-based media. I don't know if I still have access to the web-based stuff because this CD is kind of obviously older. So I do know that I have access to the Art of Meteora, but I don't know, like, cause yeah, there's not as much like more. What the fuck did I want to say? Okay, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Either way, I'm not quite sure if I can access any of the web-based stuff anymore. But yeah, I really like specifically the song because it has so it's got the lyrics, but then for every song there's also like a little note about the song, like how it was made and stuff. So I'll try to, hopefully you can see that there's some notes for all of them. So it's not just the lyrics, and I think that's cool. I really like that. From Linkin Park, I really want to get Hybrid Fury. So hopefully one day I will get that as well. I also need to listen to the newest album fully. I've heard like a handful of songs and I do really like them, but I haven't listened to the whole album front to back yet, so I should do that. Because I quite like the new songs that I've heard. I know some people don't really like, I've seen some people not really like them because, you know, different singer, but I don't know, I mean, I just think it's kind of like not, kind of a stupid complaint a little bit, because obviously like they're not gonna have the same like singer. They can't really do anything about that, but clearly the other members do want to keep the band going, so I don't know, I do like the new songs that I've heard. So next up, I've got the Scream soundtrack on CD. So I honestly bought this in the UK at a charity shop for basically nothing. Admittedly, the soundtrack isn't that good. Like, I do like some of the songs, it does have some great songs, but for the most part, it's just, I don't know, it's not really something I listen to that much. I mostly really have it because it's Scream, and I love Scream. Great fucking movie. One of my favorite movies of all time, so I don't know if you can see it. I'm wearing a Scream t-shirt right now. Yeah. One of my favorite movies in general. Okay. Also got this in the UK at a charity shop, The Decemberists. I don't actually know how to pronounce that, so I'm just gonna show it. But yeah, I got this purely because the Mariner's Revenge song is on this. I hadn't heard a single other song. I just knew like, the Mariner's Revenge song, which is a fucking banger of a song. It is like a 7 or 8 minute long song. Like, it's a pretty long song, purely about this guy who wants to get revenge on another guy who ruined his and his family's life. And it is such a bop, like genuinely banger of a song, strong enough to make me buy the whole CD. But yeah, I have listened to this a couple of times. I do like some of the other songs as well. It's not one that I listen to a ton, but there's several songs on this that I actually do like. But yeah, I bought this, like when I bought this, the Mariner's Revenge song was the only one that I actually knew. Okay, I think this is my final UK charity shop find, but Intellectual Property by Waterparks. I was really surprised to find this, honestly, because this is like a pretty recent album. This came out in 2023, and I was able to get this for 50p, so it's like 50 cents essentially. Yeah, I basically got it for nothing, and it works. It's brand new, pretty much. Like, nothing is damaged or anything, so I don't know. I was just pretty surprised to find it in a charity shop, but hey, I'm happy to have it. I would also like to get some more Waterpark CDs though, because I do really like them. I'd love to get Fandom specifically. That's the one I would say like I listen to the most out of all their albums. So yeah, Lies for the Liars by The Used. So The Used, I would say, is a band that I don't, for a real long time I only really knew kind of their bigger, like most popular songs, but sort of in recent months I've been listening to more of their music than just like the really popular stuff, and I really like them, so yeah, I got the album. I also really like the visuals, like in this one. I kind of like the weird little creatures here and like here and here. I think they're quite fun. The Same Old Blood Rush with a New Touch by Cute Is What We Aim For. I've got quite a few like 2000s pop punk / emo albums because I listen to a lot of that stuff, so I've got quite a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, it's just sort of a booklet that opens up. One thing that I was kind of surprised by with getting this one, it's probably not that surprising, but it was kind of surprising to me. So they open this album, they have like the thank you section. First thing I see, I think it was like one of the first things, that like people are thanking Jesus and God, and I thought it was really funny considering their biggest song is about sex. Like most of they have quite a lot of songs that are very obviously about sex, so I just thought it was really funny. And okay, this isn't the only CD that I have this for, but one thing that I just find kind of strange, and I'm not personally religious, I wasn't raised religious at all, so I'm not religious myself, but I find it really weird when bands in like the people we want to thank, they start off with like God or Jesus, and only then they thank their own families. I just think that's really weird. Like, it's fun, like, I don't know, your parents raised you, maybe you should thank them first and then thank Jesus. But again, I'm not religious, what the fuck do I know? But yeah. Because so the next one I've got is Jack by Forever the Sickest Kids, which I got for very cheap. And this has also same thing. It's also everyone is thinking, like in this one, in the little thank you section. Yeah, they're thanking like Jesus before, like first and only then their own families. It's just strange to me. But anyway, this album is probably the most 2010s album out there. It sounds extremely of its time, but I mean that as like a compliment. I think it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed a lot of the songs on here. They're very fun. A friend of mine introduced me to this band, and yeah, this album was released in 2013. You can tell, like, listening to this, you can absolutely tell it's like from the 2010s, but it's like in a fun way. I personally at least enjoy it. So also, speaking of albums that sound very much of their time, I have Some Nights by Fun, which was also like, this was everywhere in the 2010s. I remember hearing so many songs from it, like everywhere. Mostly I got this because it was 99 cents. I was buying like some other albums from a seller on Discogs, and they had this, and like I hadn't listened to this album in a very long time. Mostly just like a couple of songs here and there that I had like still heard on the radio, like heard in some places. But I bought it and then I re-listened to it, and I don't know, I enjoyed it. It is like, you know, quite nostalgic for me at this point, which is kind of weird to say, because, you know, but yeah, it's not like something that I'll probably listen to very frequently, but occasionally when you get like nostalgic, this is a good album. Next up, I've got 2 Slipknot CDs. So we got Volume 3. Also, when I get albums that are like sealed with stickers, I like to cut out the stickers and keep them. So I have that. This is a Slipknot album. My favorite song from this album is probably Vermilion. I know that's not like even close to their most popular songs, but I keep listening to it so much. I really, really love that song. Specifically from like the visuals, like the booklet here, I really love how it looks. I love the masks. I love how everything looks so much. It's just really cool to me. So I really love just looking through the booklet sometimes, even when I'm like listening to the album, I just like looking at it. Yeah, like, I think it looks cool. I like when things look like this, I guess. Because I really love horror and I love creepy stuff and scary and stuff like that. So I like how the masks look a lot. And then I've also got The Great Chapter here. And again, same thing, just the masks are really fucking cool to me. And this one kind of looks like Pinhead a bit. And then, yeah, these are the only two Slipknot CDs that I've got, but I'll probably have more in the future. Okay, since we're kind of on the slight horror-esque stuff, since I mentioned like liking horror films, I've got The Silver Screen by Iceman Kills. Unfortunately, I only have this one, but I really want the other Silver Scream as well. I really like how the CD looks here. It's like a film, and I think it looks really, really cool. I also think the booklet is quite simple, but it's typed out to look like a script, which I also think is really cool. It's like a simple idea, but it's very, very like I really like it. And yeah, I really like Iceman Kills a lot. As I said, I love horror films, so it's like a band who sings about like horror and horror stuff is really cool to me. And yeah, I'm actually going to see them live in concert later this year, and I'm really, really excited, honestly. Like, I've been a huge fan for like years now, so I'm really excited to see them. Also kind of horror-esque, but I've got Satan, Sex, and No Regrets by Harley Poe, which this is like probably my most fucking prized possession, because I never thought that I would be able to get a Harley Poe CD at all, because it's not like they're like a huge band, not even in the US. Like, first of all, they're an American band, and I live in Europe, and it's not even like they're a huge band, so they're kind of really niche, but I'm a huge fan of them and have been ever since I discovered them. So I'm really, really happy to have like a Harley Poe CD. But this one doesn't have a booklet, but it does have that, so that's really cool. I definitely would love to get more Harley Poe CDs if possible. I think I've seen some other ones that you can buy in Europe, but not many. Unfortunately, not like my favorite ones. I really would love to get Horrorful, but I haven't been able to find that at all. I don't know if they released it on CD, actually. I'll have to take a look. But yeah, it'll probably be pretty difficult for me to have that in Europe. But still, I'm really glad to at least have one. This next one isn't like horror, really, but I don't know, it's just the one that I thought maybe would fit the next. Trainwreck by Boys Night Out, which this album I've been absolutely obsessed with for like the past several months. So this one as well, it came sealed, so I had like a sticker, and I think it's really fun. Especially it says like most anticipated release of 2005, and I just think it's fun when there's like, especially for older stuff. I like when it has that. But anyway, so this album it's like a really dark concept album. So this kind of just like ends up like that. It's a really, really dark concept album. Um, in short, about like a guy who has like these really terrible nightmares, and one night he kills his wife. It's a really well made album though. Like, it is dark, but it is really, really well made. I really highly recommend it. I've been listening to it so much on repeat for like months already. I discovered it randomly like a couple of months ago, I think in like February of this year, and currently it's the start of September, so, and I've still been listening to this like on repeat very, very frequently. I play it all the time. I really like this album a lot. I have also been listening to some of their other songs as well, and I'd love to get their first album as well. But yeah, this one I highly recommend. I absolutely love this album to bits. Let's go in the complete opposite direction. I've got two albums by Marina. Just Marina and Diamonds is what she used to be. Now it's just Marina. But yeah, I've been a fan of Marina. I think I started listening to her shortly after Electra Heart came out, and Electric Heart came out in like 2012, I think. I'm trying to see here. Yeah, 2012. And I got into her shortly after that. But I'll first show Family Jewel since that's the first one that came out. But yeah, I remember hearing one of the songs from Electra Heart on like a music channel on TV, and I really, really liked that song, like a lot. So I looked it up and I listened to that a bunch, and I listened to a bunch of her other stuff. Anyway, but yeah, when I first discovered her, I'd say Electra Heart was the album that I listened to the most. But after a while, I listened to I would say The Family Jewels is probably still my favorite album of hers, and that was the one that I listened to the most, like, after properly getting into her. Yeah, I don't know, I just found it, like, I really enjoy the songs, like, a lot. I listen to it a ton still. I think this is a fucking great album, and it's probably one of my favorite albums a lot in general, because, yeah, as I said, I've been a huge fan of her since, like, 2012, so, yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of her music. I listened to a lot of her music during school, and, like, when I was still in school and everything, so, yeah. But anyway, then I've got Electra Heart, also a fucking great album, just because The Family Jewels is my favorite one, but I still think Electra Heart is a fucking incredible album. I would like to have more of her albums, though. I really want to get Fruit and her newest one, well, Princess of Power. I'd love to get both of those as well. Yeah. Because, yeah, I do still listen to her. I'm still, like, a big fan of hers. She's, like, one of my favorite artists, probably. Continuing on albums that I listened to when I was younger, I've got Pure Heroine by Lorde. I also really need to get Melodrama. I really want to get that too, but at the moment I only have Pure Heroine. I honestly would like to also get her. I do like her newest album as well, but I have seen that apparently, like, so the CD for the newest album is completely clear, and because of that, apparently it just doesn't play on a lot of CD players, and so I don't know if I'd get it because of that. But yeah, Pure Heroine is another one. Like, obviously this was huge when it came out. Like, Royals was everywhere. This album was pretty popular, like, when it came out, and I loved it. I listened to it so much, so I'm just happy to have it. I like quite a lot of these albums are very much also just things that I listened to a lot when I was younger. I have quite a few more of those, like, that follow that same theme, and quite a lot of bands that I got into when I was like 14, 15, or even younger than that, and that I just still listen to a bunch and hold very near and dear to my heart. Because, okay, one thing I will say about being an adult, because right now, like, I'm an adult with a full-time job and stuff, and it feels like it's sort of like being 14, except now I have money to spend on things, you know? Because I feel like there was a while where, when I was like 17, 18, where I was like, I was trying to be a different person entirely. I was like, no, I'm not the same person that I was when I was 14. I'm now a different person. I like different things. And then, I don't know, in the past like 2-3 years, I'm just kind of like, hey, I'm just 14 again. But I still listening to the same bands that I did back then. Keep re-listening to the albums and stuff, and it's like, I don't know, that's just sort of what it feels like. So a lot of these albums are like, a lot of these albums and a lot of these bands are very much like things that I enjoyed when I was younger. So speaking of, what do you think about The Car by Declan McKenna? So I remember when this came out, I listened to this quite a lot. This one is like newer than Electro Heart or Pure Heroine. This was 2017 apparently. So I would have been probably like 16, 17 when that came out. But yeah, there's like a whole poster here, and then just lyrics here. But I do remember listening to this album quite a lot when it came out. I really liked it. I thought it was like, I don't know, I really liked the lyric. I really liked it lyrically. I really liked it a lot in general. I was like listened to this album a ton, and I gave it a re-listen not long ago, like a couple of months ago, and I still really liked it, so I decided to buy it. Next up, I've got 4 Paramore CDs. So Paramore is another band where I started listening to them, and I might have been like 12 or 13 when I started, and I mean, they've been one of my favorite bands since. I love Paramore. So yeah, let's start. Let's start with Riot. I'm trying to think, like, how did I don't really remember how I started listening to them exactly, because I know with like some people it was probably Twilight, but I didn't watch Twilight at the time. I've seen the first 2 movies, but I only really watched them as like the drinking game to make fun of it with my friends. It was a lot of fun. But I've never read it, and I didn't really watch the movies when I was younger, but I do actually have the album with Decode on it, which is the song from Twilight. But yeah, I think like I remember hearing, I think the first songs that I heard were like Brick by Boring Brick. When did this come out? Actually, 2009. Okay, 2009. But yeah, I think it was mostly songs from this that I heard first. I think it was like Brick by Boring Brick. I remember hearing Monster. I really liked Monster. I really liked that song a lot. And yeah, I've kind of just been listening to them a bunch since, and been a huge fan. So I also really like this booklet. I like the photos a lot. I think they look cool, and yeah. And I've also got their self-titled album. This one I've been listening to quite a lot lately, specifically. This one also has like a sticker that I kept. I've been listening to this one specifically quite a lot lately. It's sort of just been getting stuck in my head more. It's not my favorite album, I would say, but I do think it has a lot of really good songs, and it's very catchy, and I still really like it. It's not my favorite album, but I still really like it, so got that. And just lyrics, and yep. However, probably my favorite Paramore album is After Laughter. I really like After Laughter. I really like the way it sounds. I really like all the songs, and like lyrically, it's probably my favorite album of theirs. Either that or Brand New Eyes, I would say, because like they do have different sort of sounds, different vibes, but I think After Laughter is the one that I prefer. Like, I think it's a better album. The booklet is kind of just the lyrics in the background, which again, like I did mention that I do prefer there's something a bit more, but yeah, either way, this is a great album, and I do need to get their other albums on CD as well. Okay, you know what? Let's continue with this kind of similar to Paramore, but so I was on Tumblr in the 2010s. I was a super, well, okay, not quite super Hulock, specifically super Who girly, and also an emo quartet girly, so let's just show all of those. Let's start with Panic at the Disco. So I have 2 Panic at the Disco CDs, Fever You Can't Sweat Out and Pretty Odd. Fever You Can't Sweat Out, I still listen to this album so much. I absolutely love this album. It's so fucking good. Like, I love re-listening to it so much. It's such a great album. Yeah. I'm gonna play this. There's lyrics here, and then this, which I think looks really cool. I really like this. I got Pretty Odd. This one also has like promo for merch, which I imagine you probably can't get anymore and probably haven't been able to get for like a really long time, but I think the CD looks really pretty. And got these. Here's the booklet. Currently these are the only two Panic at the Disco CDs that I have. I'm not quite sure. Like, I feel like I need to re-listen to the other albums properly before deciding whether to get more or not, because I haven't really given them much of a re-listen, at least not the full album. I've been re-listening to like a few songs here and there from the other albums, but specifically the albums in full I haven't heard in a while. Like, I remember really liking Death of a Bachelor when that came out, but I haven't given that a re-listen in a very long time. Like, only a few songs here and there. Vices and Virtues, again, like, I've been listening to a few songs here and there, but haven't really re-listened to the whole album. Then there's Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die, I think it was called. Okay, I will say this. I love This Is Gospel. I still love This Is Gospel. I really loved that song when I was younger, and I will still defend that song with my life. But I remember not being a huge fan of the entire album when I was younger, and I'd probably have to give it like a proper re-listen again to decide. But maybe one of those I'd get. I probably wouldn't get like the complete recent ones, like right before the hiatus when it was. I don't think I would necessarily get those, because I do remember not, at the very least I remember not really liking the singles, so I didn't really check out the full thing. But yeah, probably some of the other albums I'd maybe get on CD, but at the moment it's just these two. Yeah. Next up, let's go with Fall Out Boy. So I've got From Under the Cork Tree and Infinity on High. So I definitely would love to get more Fall Out Boy albums. Like, I really want to get specifically American Beauty, American Psycho, because I think that was like the one that came out, that was like the newest, like it came out as I was already like a fan of theirs, because like when I started listening to them, the other ones had already come out, whilst American Beauty, American Psycho was like the new one. So I don't know, I would love to get that. I also just really like that album a lot. I've been re-listening to that one as well quite a lot recently. I also want to get Folie à Deux. It's a great album. This one, actually, with Infinity on High. So the song, Gay is Not a Synonym for Shitty, is, I would say it's my favorite Fall Out Boy song, but it's not on the the regular version of Infinity on High. And initially, like, I didn't know if it was on any other versions. I thought, like, I did try to see if I could get the deluxe version, because it has multiple, like, I think it has more than just Gay is Not a Synonym for Shitty. I think it has one or two more songs. But I thought, like, I couldn't find it anywhere, and so I was like, okay, I'll just get, like, the regular version. And I was buying from, like, a seller, and I saw that they had this version, and I didn't know that this had, like, an extra song, so I bought it. I bought it, was thinking, like, okay, whatever, it's gonna be the regular version, or like some kind of, because on Discogs specifically, you can select like only specific type of CD that you want, but sometimes it will be like, oh, one of them is the European one, but the one that, you know, the person is selling is the US one, for example, and they're not really all that different. They're just manufactured for the different like markets. So I wasn't sure if this was going to be actually like a different in any way. However, I was really happy to find that it is, and it does have that song, because again, it's my favorite song, and also it's like quite unique. So it sort of has like a unique jewel case. You kind of press it here, and then it opens up, and you have to like press it, and then it's kind of unique looking, and I think that's really cool as well. And here's the booklet. And also, speaking of Gay is Not a Synonym for Shitty, as I said before, I'm trying to learn how to play the drums, and I'm currently trying to learn how to play that song on drums. It is admittedly going absolutely terribly, though, I will fully admit. The problem is, I don't know, I can't play very fast, and the song is way too fast for me. if I slow it down, I can kind of keep up. But yeah, overall, it's not going great, but I will keep trying, and hopefully I will learn it, because I absolutely fucking love that song so much. Okay, so as I said, emo quartet, right? So when I was on Tumblr in 2015, my favorite of the four bands was definitely 21 Pilots and MCR. So let's go with 21 Pilots. Yeah. So when I said like, oh, I've been listening to like the bands that I used to listen to when I was younger quite a lot. About like a couple of months ago, like at some point last year, I randomly decided to re-listen to Vessel, and it kind of really got me back into 21 Pilots like a lot. And genuinely listening to this album makes me feel like a sleeper agent that got activated because I used to listen to them so much when I was younger. Like 15-year-old me, I listened to 21 Pilots so much, and this entire album from start to finish is like ingrained in my brain. So whenever I just hear any song from it, immediately I know everything, start to finish, all the lyrics. It makes me just feel like a sleeper agent, especially this song Car Radio. I don't know why that one, I think that one is just because it's like easier to sing along to than some of their other songs, but from start to finish I could do this entire thing with like no lyrics, like karaoke with no lyrics showing up. Could do this entire album probably. Oh, we've got Blurry Face. It's the big one, you know, this one had Stressed Out. So I really like the sort of visuals, like style of this one. I think it looks cool. But yes. And yeah, I've been like kind of listening to them on and off quite a lot lately. As I said, like I already listened to the Vessel last year, and then it got me really back into them. Like I hadn't really listened to, like I think when Clancy came out, I listened to it once, and then when I got like really back into them last year, I listened to it a bunch, and I also ordered a bunch of these albums because I think before that I didn't have any of them, and then now I have 4. I will admit I also did pre-order their newest album because that's coming out like soon, and I did pre-order it as well, so I'm quite excited for that. I do like the singles, so yeah. That is Trench. The only album that I don't have by 21 Pilots, not counting like Regional at Best and self-titled, because those aren't exactly, you know, you can't exactly get them officially, not unless you want to spend like a fuck ton a lot of money. The only one I don't have is Scaled and Icy, because when Scaled and Icy came out, I didn't really listen to them that much, only a couple of songs here and there, like very rarely, and also I remember hearing Shy Away, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. I think that was the first single, and I wasn't super into it. So I still haven't listened to the entirety of Scaled and Icy, especially because a lot of people say it's not, like, it's probably their, like, least favorite album by them. So, I don't know. I have heard several songs off it. I do quite like Choke Her and Redecorate, but I still don't really listen to Shy Away that much. It's not really my favorite song, and I don't know. I just haven't really gotten around to listening to Scaled and Icy in full yet, but I probably should. Then, of course, we've got My Chemical Romance, which one of my favorite bands, even still to this day. So, I do actually have Bullets, luckily. Bullets on CD is, like, quite difficult to find for cheap. A lot of the listings that I saw online were, like, in the hundreds even. I was able to get it for a little bit under 50 euros, which is a lot for a CD. Like, this is the most expensive CD that I own, but it's, like, as I said, I've seen listings that go, like, over 100, so getting it for less than 50 was, like, cheap in comparison. It's, like, really difficult to find on, like, it's not difficult to find, it's just really expensive on CD. So, but, you know, most of the CDs that I have were not that even close to that expensive. I've got quite a lot that were really cheap, some that were sort of in the 10-15 euro range. Most of them I would say are in that. So, you know, I decided, like, for this one CD to just, like, fuck it, I'll just buy it, because I do really love, like, MCR. They're still probably one of my favorite bands out there, so, and I really wanted to get it, so yeah. This is the most expensive one that I have, but still. The rest of the CDs were not that expensive. I've got Free Cheers for Sweet Revenge. This was like 5 euros, so, you know. I know that they recently released like a remastered version, which I don't have. I've not, maybe I will get it, I'm not quite sure. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of like cardboard packaging for CDs, which that one has, because it bends like quite a lot. I have one CD, I'll show it. I have like a few cardboard ones, but I have one that is like really folded a lot, like bent a lot because of shipping. Anyway, here's the Black Parade. This also has like a little sticker. I think it's fun. This one also, it came with like promo for Free Cheers for Sweet Revenge and Life on the Murder Scene, and it also came with like merch promo, and I think this is fun. It says like you can get 10% off with a code, but only until October of 2008, which is fun. Yeah. I really like the CD, how it looks, and then here's the lyrics. They're kind of like, they remind me of like an old newspapery. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Then we got some art here, plus this folds open, like this poster, and I think this one looks so cool. I really, really like it. So, fucking great album. But yeah, as I said with like cardboard packaging for CDs, it's because like a lot of them kind of do bend a lot, especially if you have to travel at all. Like, I've had some CDs where I bought them at a store, but then, you know, I had to put them in my bag and drive elsewhere, and during the drive, like, they got bent. Sometimes in shipping they can get really bent. So yeah, and finally I got Danger Days. This one also, I really like the CD, but maybe I'll get it one day. Yeah. And then Danger Days booklet. I know currently MCR are on tour, and I really hope they announce more European dates, because I did see that they announced some shows in London, but I will say I hate London. I'm so sorry to anyone who lives in London. I absolutely hate that place. I've been there, I visited there once years ago for only a couple of days, and it felt just so overwhelming. I wanted to die. And I've only really passed through now, because I don't live in the UK, but I have like friends and family who do, so sometimes I have to, when I travel, I have to fly to London and then take a bus or train from London to like elsewhere, and it's just such a nightmare. Yeah, my hatred for London unfortunately runs deeper than my love for MCR, so I really hope they announce more European dates in somewhere that isn't London. Okay, so that's the Tumblr emo quartet. I still have some emo bands though. Emo-esque bands. First of all, we've got Pierce the Veil. We've got free Pierce the Veil CDs at the moment. So I've got Flair for the Dramatic. I actually saw Pierce the Veil live last year. They were really, really good. Like, if you have a chance to see them, I really highly recommend it. They're really good. Unfortunately, they didn't sing a single song from A Flair for the Dramatic, though. I'm kind of a bit sad about that. I think I really like this album, so. I've got Cloud with the Sky. Okay, hello. Okay. Yeah, Cloud. This one opens up for that. So it's got Okay, so it's got like the lyrics and stuff on this side, and then art and stuff. So I think it's really cool. I really like the arts, like of the art style for this album a lot. I think it looks really cool. And then I've got The Jaws of Life. I actually received this today. And the one version that I've got, like, it was like a limited edition exclusive one or something. So it has like photos of them, which I think is really cool. It came with that, especially because the booklet doesn't actually have it. It just has the lyrics. It doesn't have any photos of the band. So I'm glad to have at least these. I really want to get Selfish Machine. Like, I do want to get all of their albums on CD. Selfish Machine specifically, I've had trouble finding it in Europe. There's like a lot of listings in the US, but they usually don't ship here, or they're like pricey. So I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to get Selfish Machines at some point, because I'd say that's probably my favorite Pierce the Veil album. And then Misadventures also, I've seen some listings here and there in Europe, so I think I'll find it eventually. Last time I looked, there weren't any, but I think I've seen some before, so hopefully. I've got Sleeping with Sirens next. I really like Sleeping with Sirens a lot. They're also probably one of my favorite bands. Yeah, got Fears to See a Nice Tear. This one was kind of difficult to find, I will admit. It's on vinyl, it's like really easy to get, but on CD, I had to wait like several months for a listing to come out, like on Discogs, because I did see one on eBay, but it was like €100, and I'm not doing that. And yeah, I was able to eventually get this for not super expensive. Let's cheers to this. With Sleeping with Sirens as well, I would love to get all of their albums. I think I'm like not counting the live album, I think only 2. This one also, for Let's Cheers to This is like a misprinted booklet, because the order of the songs in the booklet doesn't actually match the order of the songs on the CD. So when I listen to it, and if I want to like read along with the lyrics, I sometimes have to like try to find the actual lyrics first, because they're not in order like usually is. Next up, I've got Madness, and this one has like 2 bonus songs, so it's not just the regular version. It has 2 bonus songs. It has Parasites and 2 Chord. And yeah, just the lyrics. And yeah, this booklet is also quite simple. At least there's like a photo of the band at the cover. And then I've got How It Feels to Be Lost. I do kind of wish that I would have been able to get the deluxe version, because the deluxe version of this album has the song Talking to Myself, which I really, really like that song a lot. But I don't know if they ever, at least I haven't seen any like CD versions of the deluxe. So it's fine. I really do like this album a lot, so it's fine. I will say, like, I really like Talking to Myself, like the song. It's really good. Finally, I've got Complete Collapse, which is their latest album. Oh, okay. Sorry, the jewel case almost broke. But this one also opens up like that. I also really like the visuals. Like, I really like that album cover a lot. I think it looks really cool. Okay, so next up, I've got Razzmatazz by I Don't Know How They Found Me. So this was the one that I said, like it's in cardboard packaging, and it's very bent, like specifically during shipping it got kind of bent a lot. So that's why I say, like, I'd prefer when they're either not cardboard at all, or like how with the Sleeping with Sirens album or the Harley Poe album. Give me a moment, I'll show you. So with this, it's like, you know, you open up, there's a CD, and I took the booklet out, but like, there's a booklet in this. Whilst with some other ones, they're made out of cardboard, but there's some amount of plastic inside, which kind of makes it bend less. I find that it's more sturdy when it's like that. Not to say that it can't bend, but it's kind of like, if they're gonna do like a cardboard version, I prefer it when it's like this, because it feels like not like it won't bend as easily. There's the Razzmatazz booklet. Wait, yeah. I'm skipping over things by accident. There's that, these sort of things, and then this is where the lyrics start. Next up, I've got Maybe This Place Is the Same and We're Just Changing by Real Friends. It's quite simple here. But yeah, here as well, like, you can only get the CD and booklet out in here, and it kind of makes it a bit difficult to, like, it's not the easiest way to get things out, I will admit. So this one luckily didn't get bent, but you know. Anyway, this one's just, here's like a book, the lyrics, and then it's like a giant poster sort of here. And then I've got Wildlife by La Dispute, but unfortunately in here I've got only the CD. There's nothing else. When I looked up online, at least on Discogs, it said that this version that I have came free with like a magazine, and that's why it doesn't have anything else. And there is apparently a version that has more content, but I don't know. The one I have is just the CD. Great fucking album. I really love this album a lot. It's really, really good. I do wish it had more, but you know, I couldn't really find many listings for this CD at all. Again, like in Europe, so it's fine. At least I still got some version of it. We're gonna go a little bit different here because I only have a couple of CDs left. So I've got Garbage by Garbage. This one I also got, admittedly, kind of because it was quite cheap, but I do, first of all, I love the color of the CD. I think it looks so cool. But I do like this album. I do listen to Garbage quite a bit, so yeah. I've got two Avril Lavigne CDs. I've got Under My Skin and The Best Damn Thing. And when I was a kid, I was a huge Avril Lavigne fan, and I thought she was the coolest person alive. Like, 6-year-old me thought she was the coolest person alive. So I mostly just have these, like, I don't listen to Avril as much anymore. Mostly, again, like, nostalgia. But I do still like a lot of her songs. Also, this outfit I think looks so cool. I really like it. But anyway, I definitely used to listen, like, it's not like I don't listen to her at all. Just not as much as I used to. But still, I wanted to have at least like, some of her albums because, you know, very nostalgic for me. I was a huge fan when I was younger. I especially listened a lot to The Best Damn Thing. So, also, fun fact, when I was a kid, I got like a pink streak in my hair specifically because of her from like this album, because you can see she has like a pink streak in her hair, and I got that as well for her, well, because of her, because I wanted to be her. I wanted to be like her so badly. So yeah, I got that. Okay, next up I've got Blackout by Britney Spears. I listened to this album like a lot in my first year of university, because I do like pop music a lot in general. Like, I know there's a lot of these CDs aren't really pop, but I do like pop music a lot. And I obviously knew like the biggest songs from this album, but I saw a lot of people say that the whole album is like really, really good and probably like Britney's best album. And it's been on like best albums of all time lists, I think, as well. So I gave it a listen and I really liked it, and then I just kept playing it on repeat during my first year of uni. So yeah, decided to get it as well. It's really good. I've really liked this album a lot. Alright, continuing the pop music thing, I've got 2 Charlie XCX albums. Charlie XCX is probably one of my favorite artists out there, so I really want to get more for CDs. So this is Charlie one. Here as well, like you can see that, like it's cardboard, but there's like some plastic, so it's less bendy, more sturdy and stuff. The booklet doesn't actually have lyrics. It's kind of just, oh wait, you know, it doesn't, it has credits, and then yeah. So would have liked if it had more, but that's fine. And then I've also got the Brat Remix album. So this has 2 CDs in it. It has, like, on one of them is the actual remixes, and on the other one is just the regular songs, the regular versions of the songs. So everything in the Brat booklet is like mirrored. So the lyrics, all the text, everything is mirrored. So yeah. Then there's a photo of her, and then, you know, again, just mirrored lyrics. Yeah, it's got like the remix version. So there's like the regular songs, and it has all the songs, including the like free extra ones, and then it has all the remixes. The only remix it doesn't have is the Spring Breakers one with Kesha. However, I will admit I was kind of disappointed by that remix, because it feels like, I mean, it's basically just the same song, but with a Kesha verse that isn't that strong. Like, I do really like Kesha. I'd love to also get some Kesha CDs, but it's not really like lyrically her strongest. So anyway, I've also got The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess by Chaperone. Obviously, this album, like, Chaperone is currently super popular, and I also only really found out about her because of her popularity, but I really like her songs a lot, so I got the album. I did slightly have to hunt for it, because I bought this in a record store in real life, and not online. So this has like, it just has the lyrics, mostly. But yeah, I couldn't find it, and like I had to like go to several record stores, because the first one, like the first few that I went to, they only had it on vinyl, but I was able to get it eventually, luckily. Okay, next up I've got You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To by Not Loose. Great fucking album. Love this album a lot. So here's the CD, and so this also, like, this is like the lyrics, and then this opens up here as like a poster. Great album. I started listening to them because like this album got quite a lot of attention, I saw online, so I gave it a listen, and I really liked it. And I've been listening to quite a lot of their other songs, like from other projects as well, and I really like them a lot. So yeah. So lastly, I've got 5 Bring Me the Horizon CDs. They're probably, like, especially lately, I've been listening to them so much. So first we have got Suicide Season. Oddly enough, they're also like, so I live in a small country. I don't want to dox myself and say where, but I live in a small country, and there's not a lot of like there's quite a lot of bands that I like that is really difficult to find any CDs for. Like, for example, even like Fall Out Boy. They're a very popular band, but I haven't seen a single Fall Out Boy CD in any record store here that I've been to. Bring Me the Horizon, I've seen pretty much every single album of theirs being sold. The only one I haven't seen is Suicide Season. I did have to buy this online, but I've seen every other album just easily available here. I don't know why it's like that, but yeah, so pretty much I think most of these I've got like in physical record stores here. Okay, so next up I've got There's a Hell / There's a Heaven. So here it is. Anyway, I really like the booklet for this, because this is like the cover, but then it opens up like that, and I think it looks really cool. I really like it a lot. On the other side is just the lyrics, so pretty simple there, but yeah, I think this looks really cool. Okay. Next up I've got That's the Spirit. Unfortunately for this one, I will say the booklet's kind of like not that good. It's just the lyrics on like a plain background, so it, I don't know, like give me something more, you know? If you're gonna release like a booklet, please give me something a little bit more. Because I like, so under the CD is this, and I do really like that, so I wish there was at least like the colors and everything look really cool, so I wish maybe something more like that was in the booklet as well. Maybe I know that like the backgrounds are, you know, change colors, but I don't know, I would like something a bit more than that, because I have a bit of a similar issue with Post-Human Survival. Here's the CD, and then the booklet is also just the lyrics on a plain background. Well, I mean, the background's a bit different here, but it's just the lyrics with nothing else to it. So again, I just kind of, I don't know, I prefer it when there's more. I really do like the cover of this album, however. I think it looks really cool. Yeah. Surprisingly, I don't have Sempiternal. So this is next gen. I don't have Sempiternal. I really should get it, because that's like their most popular album. And I do want to get it, so I definitely will. Here's a booklet. And again, like, here's some more like art. As I said, like, I like when there's at least more stuff, so I think it looks really cool. I've also just been listening to this album so much lately. And yeah, those are all the CDs that I have. Thank you for watching.